fighting, but he didn't. He say, okay, the West and Pakistan, everybody was against us, so we could not fight the whole world. The president said to tell the armies not to fight and to not destroy the cities. Let them come in. Let them see, and if they can run the country, let them run the country. So that's why the president went outside the country and tell the army not to fight. So the army is still like in some of them are still in bases, some of them are went home. So they didn't fight because we didn't want to destroy the country back to 1996. And this Taliban is just nothing but the ISI puppet, and they're a terrorist. So we Muslims should speak against the terrorists in Islam, and we should not let other people think that Islam is a terrorist religion. We are very proud of our religion, and Alhamdulillah, we are all happy with what we have. But right now, what's going out in Afghanistan is clear, and Afghanistan to be stabilized country. So please don't
Is there
trust any
is
Western
any
country.
ഈ ശ്രീചേട്ടാ അവിടെ വല്ല പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ടോന്നൊന്ന് ചോദിച്ച ശ്രീചേട്ടാ അവിടെ ഈ പറയുന്ന രീതിയിൽ സ്ത്രീകളെ ആക്രമിക്കുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുട്ടികളൊക്കെ ആക്രമിക്കപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ടോന്നൊന്ന് ചോദിക്കാമോ?
Hey Sahel, this is Sri. Razwan is asking whether there is any violence against women and children right now going on in your place, Afghanistan, because of this war.
No, no, there is no violence against women and children. There's violence against our were in the favor of the country and didn't want the country destroyed. They looking for them, they finding them, and they kill them. So ISI is doing this in my country right now. I'm sorry, what's happening? I don't know. It's just like I'm losing the signal or something that I'm going out from the room. But yeah, I was saying that it's there is no violence against women and kids. Obviously, they are being pushed back to the houses, and ISI is just killing our educated people. That's very bad for our country, and we are the people of the world is going forward, and we are going backward. So that's what is the reality right now.
സഹേലിന് ജോലിക്ക് പോകാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ? ജോലിയൊക്കെ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ? എന്താ അവന്റെ തൊഴിലില് പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ?
Okay, Sahel, Razwan is asking whether you have any difficulty in going to job or doing your own going on with your normal life.
Yes, right now the country is in state of war. You don't know who is the enemy. You don't know your friend. People have a gun wearing a civil clothes. Yes, it's a very difficult time, and there will be, I'm sorry to say, but there will be a food shortage soon because the country, when the government is working and all of a sudden the government collapse, so there's nobody doing that stuff that used to the government do it. And they used to work a normal country. Nowadays, the country is in a state of war. Yes, there is a difficulty. People not going out. They're scared from the terrorists, and they obviously, if you have a gun in your hand and you look dirty, like you haven't taken a shower for 30 days, look like animals. Obviously, the public, general public is scared, and Taliban is nothing but a terrorist. They are being trained by ISI and they sent to our country, and now my country is in state of war. So yes, there is a difficulty for people. There's a difficulty for kids to going to school. There's a difficulty for a normal business person to go to their job and their business. Yes, that's a clear image that they have a problem right now there.
ഇവര് അന്യമതസ്ഥർക്ക് അവിടെ ആക്രമിക്കപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ടോ? അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഈ വിമാനത്തിൽ ആളുകൾ അങ്ങനെ പോണ വീഡിയോ അതെന്താ സംഭവം എന്നൊന്ന് ചോദിക്കാമോ ശ്രീചേട്ടാ? കുറെ ആളുകൾ വിമാനത്തിൽ ഓടിപ്പോയില്ലേ, അതെന്താന്ന് ചോദിക്കാമോ?
Okay. Hey, Sahil, yesterday we saw some videos of people running towards aeroplanes and trying to flee. So, what is going on there? That's the first question. Second question, is there any violence reported against non-Islamic religious people?
നോൺ മുസ്ലിം.
If there is any,
No,
non
there is. Afghanistan have 99.97% Muslims. There are no very less non-Muslim there. That was the West. Thanks for asking this one. The West showed to the people, the general public, that we're taking people out of the country. They took one plane full of people to flee from Kabul and live in another city. So they wanted to show to the world that these people are very bad people. Look at them; they're running behind the plane. So this was a very bad scenario played by the West, that they l- tell the staff in the airport to leave their jobs and go home, and then they announce that they're taking people out of the country. So everybody was trapped and coming to the airport, and obviously we have some illiterate there. They hanging on the plane. When the plane went up, they were fallen down back to the floor and they died. So yes, there are some desperate people that they want to leave the country because they're afraid of life, or they're afraid of those people who are coming with the guns. So that was the West scenario they sorry, they played yesterday, and that's what they did. So they wanted to show to the world that Afghan people are not nice, but actually that was a made scenario by the West. So that.
translate,
ഓക്കെ, അതിന്റെ ഒന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് തരാം. കൈൻഡ്ലി ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ്.
Okay. അത് നമ്മൾ കണ്ട പ്ലെയിനിന് പുറകെ ഓടിയ ആൾക്കാര് ഒരു കാലത്ത് ഗവൺമെന്റിന് വേണ്ടി ജോലി ചെയ്തായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ വിദേശ ശക്തികൾ, വെസ്റ്റേൺ ആൾക്കാർ അവരെ ചതിച്ചു. അവര് ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞു നിങ്ങളെ രക്ഷിക്കാം, അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരും എയർപോർട്ടിലേക്ക് ഓടി. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ആ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായത്. എല്ലാവരെയും പുറത്ത് കൊണ്ടുപോകാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ആകെ ഒരു പ്ലെയിനാണ് വന്നത്. അതിൽ എല്ലാവരും കൂടെ പുറകെ ഓടി. അപ്പോൾ അവര് സഹേൽ പറയുന്നത് അവരെ ചതിച്ചു എന്നാണ്.
ഓക്കെ, ഈ അമേരിക്ക ഈ ഇത്ര വലിയ ചതി അമേരിക്കയിൽ വിശ്വാസം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നല്ലോ. അപ്പൊ അമേരിക്ക ഇങ്ങനെ ചതിച്ചു. ഇപ്പൊ അമേരിക്കക്കെതിരെ അവിടെ സാധാരണക്കാരായിട്ടുള്ള അഫ്ഗാനികളുടെ ഇടയിൽ വലിയ പ്രതിഷേധം ഉണ്ടോ? അതൊന്ന് ചോദിക്കാമോ? അമേരിക്കക്കെതിരെ എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രതിഷേധം ഉണ്ടോ? എന്താണ് അവിടെ ജനങ്ങളുടെ അഭിപ്രായം എന്നൊന്ന് ചോദിക്കാമോ?
Okay. Hey Sahel, Rizwan is asking, how is normal Afghans attitude towards United States? So whether is there a feeling of betrayal, like they have cheated the people of Afghanistan?
Yes, brother, thanks for asking. Yes, in the every Afghan is feeling angry to the United States. Obviously, United States betrayed us. They sold us to the terrorists. Afghan army start resisted in the first, and then they start bombing the hospitals. They start bombing the villages. So yes, American did betray us. They sold us to the terrorists. So that was a pretty clear image. You could see it in my profile. If the president wanted to go to war with the whole world, they would have destroyed the whole country. So the president, because he loved his country and he loved the people, he say he doesn't want to kill on any more people. He doesn't want to fight to the whole world. So he just told the army not to fight, back up, and leave them to come. Can you hear me?
Hi, brother Sahel. Uh,
Yes, brother. Shafiq.
yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, I wanted to interact with you, but sorry, my situation is so difficult to speak. Anyhow, other day, like 2 days back, I was in another room. It was a mix of people from different walks of life, I think, with different nationalities, and I met another brother. His name is Sahir. Actually, he's based in US. And during his talk, I was listening to him, and he said very clearly, he gave a picture about what is happening in Afghanistan, and he is a true believer, and also, he clearly delivered this real situation and the stand of a Muslim, perspective, and how we Muslims or Afghan Muslims who are facing Islam in their life, and how they are treating this maybe barbaric, or we call it tribal force, Pashtun force, and they are not treating them as an Islamic force at all, and they don't have any hope that they can put forward a welfare state what Islam says, or because it's from their past experience, from the first government, I mean, administrated by Taliban. Even we know that we are listening or reading the news during their first administration from, I mean, 1996 to 2001. Okay, so with this experience, we Muslims from India also say that, I mean, the same thing, but unfortunately, the Islam haters, the hate mongers, and the radical Hindu forces, and also the ex-Muslim, we call ex-Muslim forces, they wanted to portray something, and they wanted to push some narratives that we Muslims are supporting these Taliban forces, and we are here to, we need it like Sharia law there, and it's globally they are trying to push this narrative across the world. That's what I feel even from that room itself. People from different nations like ex-Muslims, they're trying to say this, and we Muslims, they wanted Taliban administration in Afghanistan. We are here for Islamic State and all. So I don't know, with this intention, some of our Keralite people who are ex-Muslim brought you in board and to wanted to say something against Islam, because you know that their mentality and what they are saying always that any atrocities if from these or cruelty from these forces, they wanted to relate with Islam. They wanted to relate to Quran and Sunnah, or Hadith and all. So they say, see, they are doing just because of Quran. They are doing this because of Hadith. This is their problem with their religion. This is what they are trying to push here. They're always, 24 by 7, they're trying to say this. Even though we are coming against this, we are trying to prove with the documents and all. They are not listening to us. All, I don't know what's their mentality, but what I could understand from my interaction with other people, this is a globally, they are doing a copycat, copying, copy pasting it everywhere. So this, what you feel from this? Maybe you might have been might interacted with other people, like especially from ex-Muslims. So what is your feeling?
Brother, thank you very much, Shafiq. I could only take from your question that if this Taliban is related to Islam, or if the other day I was in that room and they wanted to blame Islam for the terrorist activities. And this is the only thing I took from your question. Is that right? Please
Yeah,
say yes.
right, Sahil. That's the question. Is Taliban related to Islam, and is it about all about Islam?
No, brother. Taliban are Muslims, but they are illiterate Muslims. They are self-educated lunatic, I call them. They they don't know nothing about Islam. They are only like brainwashed people. There is nothing you can prove that they are educated Muslim, because educated Muslim will never kill a human being, because in Quran it says if you kill a single human, It's although you have killed the entire humanity. So they are definitely not acting like a Muslim. They are Muslim, but they are not acting like a Muslim, and we cannot blame Islam for the terrorist activity that they do. And the other question is that I was there in that room. Yes, I was there, and they asked me everything, but I answered them with the truth, and I told them that this has nothing to do with Islam, and neither that the extremist of the Hinduism is representing the Hindu, and neither the extremist of the other religion represent their religion. So why the Islam would be represented by the terrorist? And so that was my answer to them, and I am always going to say that Islam is a peaceful religion. We have 114 surah, starting with the mercy of Allah. So that's nothing to do with Islam. If anybody is educated with Islam, they would know that Islam has nothing to do with terrorist activities. Thank you. I hope I answered.
ഓക്കെ.
So, do anyone has any questions?
I have.
ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ മെസ്സേജ് അയച്ചോട്ടെ. ഒത്തിരി ആളെ പുള്ളി ഒരു കണ്ടീഷൻ ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു, മുകളിൽ ഒത്തിരി ആളുകളെ വെക്കരുത്, പുള്ളിക്ക് തടസ്സം ഉണ്ടാവും. So Sahil, I'm asking everyone to just text me the question, so that if they are having any questions, means I will ask in our regional language and Sri will be translating it. Okay.
Yeah, I've already posed the question to Shri.
It's okay.
Yeah, may I ask?
Please go ahead, please.
ഒരാൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ ചോദിക്കുന്ന.
Sahil, you said that there was bombing in hospital. May I know who actually did it? Means, is it the government forces or is it the Taliban?
The US B-52 plane, the US forces did this. Neither the government, neither the Taliban. The US forces did to force the Afghan government start fighting with the terrorists and give up. So that's why our president had no choice. Either choose to destroy the whole country, or either leave the other groups to come in and leave the people alive and not destroy the city. So that was the US forces
In that, technically, it means that what the US government represents the Afghan government, right? Technically, because it is they who are helping the Afghan government during wartime, right? The aerial bombardments.
No, right at this time they had 180-degree turn. They had they used to, from last 20 years, they used to support the Afghan government, but at this stage they were supporting the Taliban, they were supporting the ISI, because this new administration in US, they are in the favor of Pakistan and ISI. So they did not help the Afghan government right at this time. They were representing the Taliban. They forced the government to stop fighting. Otherwise, they would start bombing the cities and then the hospitals and the civil house.
Okay, thank you, Sahil. Points cleared. Thank you.
Okay.
That is something to be translated. That is something to be translated. Sahil, 1 second. ഇപ്പൊ സാഹിൽ പറഞ്ഞെന്താന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പോൾ നടന്ന റീസെന്റ് ആയിട്ട് നടന്ന
ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ശ്രീ ചെയ്തോളും. ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് മോണ്ട്
ശ്രീ അതൊന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്താൽ അത് അതൊന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട പോയിന്റ് ആണ്.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ.
അപ്പോ സാഹിൽ പറഞ്ഞത് ഒരു ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ ബോംബിംഗ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ അത് താലിബാനും അല്ല, അന്നത്തെ അഫ്ഗാൻ ഗവൺമെന്റും അല്ല, US ഫോഴ്സസ് ആണ് B-52 ബോംബർ വെച്ച് ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസ് ബോംബ് ചെയ്തത്. അതുപോലെ അഫ്ഗാൻ ഗവൺമെന്റിന്റെ കൂടെ നിന്ന US ആർമി നേരെ തിരിഞ്ഞ് 180 ഡിഗ്രി തിരിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നേരെ വിപരീതമായി ഇവർക്കെതിരെ പ്രവർത്തിച്ചു എന്നാണ്. US ഗവൺമെന്റ് അപ്പോഴത്തെ സാധാരണക്കാരുടെ ഇടയിലുള്ള ആ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിനെ ബോംബ് ചെയ്തതെന്നാണ് സാഹിൽ പറഞ്ഞത്.
Sahil, were you aware of the fact that when you were speaking in another club a couple of days back, they were ex-Muslims and basically they were trying to prove that Taliban does everything according to Islam, and they were actually making a point that saying points that like everything what Taliban does is supposed to be done as per the Islamic rules. Were you aware of that fact?
No, brother. I answered this question many times. No, they tried to trap me to this, that to say that Islam is doing all this. But I was clear there. I told them that Taliban and the terrorists have nothing to do with Islam. And we are human. I'm sure all of you are more educated than me. We can think, and we can take the look at the news where the Islamic people will look like the Taliban. Would they act like the Taliban? Would they would do the same thing as the Taliban do? So no, these people are illiterate. They are self-educated, brainwashed by ISI. So they have nothing to do with Islam, and they don't know what is Islam. So yeah, the other day, I don't know. I did realize at once of time that the guy was telling me that they didn't want to change the topic to the Islamic lecture. I say, look, you invited me and you told me to come to give you the reality of the ground. I took time off, so I came to you guys. And my answer was pretty clear. If you heard me, I did say Islam is a peaceful religion and Islam has nothing to do. Maybe there is a problem in Muslims. Muslim might be wrong, but Islam is not wrong, and Islam is, alhamdulillah, a very peaceful.
Brother Sahil, very short question, and I have to leave this room and I want to back to the office. Okay. Today morning, I read a news that U.S. government has frozen $9.5 billion it been remitted by or deposited by the government of Afghanistan in central bank. So, did you hear or read this news, or how? What's your response on?
Yeah, they might have done. I haven't read the news. They might have done, because US is acting like a gangster in the world. So they might have done this. Right now, there is no stable governor in Afghanistan, so they could have just frozen this money not to be taken out by anybody until somebody is representing the country. They could have done with any intention, because the one thing is pretty clear. If the US want to build your house, they would build. If they wouldn't, they want to destroy it, they will destroy it. So stay strong, guys. Don't trust the US, and the US is never be a friend of anyone. So this is the. I haven't read that news, but it could be that's right.
Thank you.
When it comes back to the discussion that you had with a couple of Kalite guys who were talking about Afghanistan a couple of days back, they basically they use this they use this one.
എടാ ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ അവൻ കൊണ്ടുപോയിട്ടെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. എടാ എനിക്ക് വന്ന് മാറിയതാ നിന്റെ ആര്.
I shall continue.
There was this discussion. Basically, this discussion was used to trash the Muslims in Kerala, saying that all the believers who are from Kerala has the same, ideology of Taliban, and they are going to bring an Islamic state in Kerala. It's a small South Indian state in India, which is which has negligible geographical area. So this is the kind of discussion that they had there, and basically you are used as a tool, saying that even an Afghan guy says that Taliban is bad, and they were trying to equate Taliban with the Keralite Muslims. What do you have to say about that?
Look, I don't know whatever they translate in your language, but I answered him with very clearly in English. Yeah, Taliban. I'm still saying Taliban is wrong, but Taliban is not representing Islam. And yes, if anybody support Taliban, they're idiots, because Taliban is a brainwashed ISI puppet. And I was very clear there, and I said, look, you can't you can't think that the Taliban represent Islam, because Islam nowhere in Quran says that you have to destroy your house by being trained by somebody that already have every means and everything that Islam doesn't want them in their country. Look at Pakistan, what they don't have. They have like prostitute house in Pakistan. They have everything you can name against Islam. They do. They make Islam like 75 different stages. So Islam is being destroyed by Pakistan. And yes, I was very clear there, and I said, look, you can't you can't think that the Taliban represents Islam. Taliban is a terrorist group trained by ISI, and that was pretty clear.
ഓക്കെ, മോണ്ട്
So,
ചോദിച്ചിരുന്നു.
yeah, going further, Sahil, how do you think, how's the future prospect of Afghanistan? Is it going to go into a anarchy kind of situation, or is it going to be some kind of development? Because the world is now looking into Afghanistan and development. Maybe they will modify a little bit to at least please the world, keep a secular system there, or like a little bit more freedom than last time. So what do you think? What can be the future of Afghanistan looks like?
It's very early to speak, but looking at the world, what they do, like today they freeze the money, they stop their help. So if this is carry on and they don't recognize the country and the government of the Taliban, obviously the future is very bad, and we cannot look to a brighter future by without the help of war. So obviously the future will be bad. But now it's very early to speak if they can if they can get stabilized government and secular government. No, it's not possible by them, because their mind is being brainwashed, and whatever the Pakistan one, they will make it there. But the country will definitely not get rebuild it, and Afghan people will rise and they will do something. But right now it's very early to speak.
Thank you, brother.
ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. ഇനി അവിടുത്തെ മുസ്ലിം പണ്ഡിതരുണ്ടല്ലോ, അവരുടെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ നിലപാട് എന്താണ്? അവര് എങ്ങനെയാണ് താലിബാനെ നോക്കി കാണുന്നത്? അതായത് സാഹിലൊക്കെ പോകുന്ന പള്ളിയായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഉള്ള ആളുകളൊക്കെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇതിനെ നോക്കി കാണുന്നതെന്ന് ചോദിക്കാമോ? ഫൈസൽക്ക, ആരെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ മതി, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ശ്രീചേട്ട ഒന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാലും മതി.
Okay. Hey Sahil, Rizwan has a question. Uh, how does the Islamic pundits or the Islamic scholars view Taliban as like the Islamic scholars related to you, that like the mosque you go to, those Islamic scholars, how do they view Taliban as?
Afghan Islamic scholar was pretty clear before this brutal terrorist group came to Afghanistan. They said the war has no place in Afghanistan. Afghan constitution is Islamic. Afghan law is Islamic law. So this war has nothing to do with so the people should not go to the war with Afghan government. They should come and sit under the government. They should think, if they think the Afghan government is corrupt, they should work for it and change it. So Afghan Islamic scholar was pretty clear that this war was illegal war supported by Pakistan. And right now, Afghan scholars life are dangerous, and the Taliban, whoever speak against them, they will kill them. So Afghan, whoever is an Afghan, and let alone they're a scholar or not, they know that this is the Pakistani puppets, and they cannot speak now the truth. Whoever you hear, they cannot. If you live in Afghanistan, you can't speak against them. So that's what it is, and. They're very brutal. They will just shoot you in the head, and that's not Islam. That's nothing to do with anyone. It's just they're brainwashed, and that's ISIF.
Trans-
Don't you think the Afghan people made a mistake when they trusted people like
ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തോട്ടെ, ഒന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തോട്ടെ ഫൈസൽക്ക. ശ്രീചേട്ടൻ.
ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോ അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാൻ ഉള്ള ഇസ്ലാമിക് സ്കോളേഴ്സ് താലിബാനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. അവരുടെ ഓൾറെഡി അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാൻ ഒരു ഇസ്ലാമിക് രാജ്യമാണ്. അതായത് അവിടെ ഓൾറെഡി ഉള്ള നിയമങ്ങൾ ഇസ്ലാമിക് നിയമങ്ങളാണ്. അപ്പോൾ താലിബാൻ കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത് ഇസ്ലാമിക് അല്ല എന്നാണ് അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാനിലെ ഇസ്ലാമിക് സ്കോളേഴ്സിന്റെ അഭിപ്രായം. പുറത്തുനിന്നുള്ള സഹായത്തോടു കൂടെ തെറ്റിദ്ധരിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടാണ് താലിബാൻ ആക്രമണം നടത്തുന്നതെന്നാണ് അദ്ദേഹം പറയുന്നത്. താങ്ക് യു.
Brother, may I ask you one question?
Please go ahead.
Actually, in other room, in the English room, some Afghan brother was saying that this Taliban is affiliated to some Deobandi sect of Islamic groups. So they will see to it that all other sects are non-Islamic and they will kill you. Is there any link between this Deobandi and this Taliban?
Brother, the Pakistan have more than 200 terrorist groups. So whoever is a Muslim, if I mean you can't say the whole Deobandi is a terrorist, because there may be a Muslim there, there may be a nice people there may be a good people in Deobandi. Taliban have no open idea of their religion. They don't know their religion. They don't know Islam. So let alone what religious group you're related to them. So they've been brainwashed by the Pakistani ISI, and that's pretty clear. So you can't uh, associate them with any group of Islam. So I don't know whether the Deobandi is a good Muslim or bad Muslim, but Taliban is not. If that's how Deobandi like Taliban, then Deobandi is a terrorist as well. But if the Deobandi is better than this, and they have not acted like this before, or they do not act like that, then Deobandi is nice. I don't have a fully knowledge of Deobandi. I think Deoband have good scholars. They have a good image in Islam. So if they are not like Taliban, then they're better. If they are like Taliban, then they're worse. Because Taliban is killing people. You can only understand a person by their physical act. If somebody is physically acting like an idiot and they think they are good, you can't trust them. You cannot say they're good, because you will look at their act and you will decide whether they're good or bad. So I don't know much about Deobandi, but Taliban is a terrorist. That's what it is. This is a pretty clear thing. Taliban is ISI made group and supported by ISI.
ഇസ്ലാമിക് ടേം വരുന്ന കാരണമാണ്. സൈഫ് ഒന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാമോ അത്?
അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ദെയ്യോബന്ദി സെക്ട് ഓഫ് ഇസ്ലാമിനെ പറ്റി വലിയ ധാരണയില്ല എങ്കിൽ പോലും അവരുടെ ബാഡ് ഇസ്ലാം എന്നോ നല്ല ഇസ്ലാം എന്നോ നമുക്ക് ഇതാക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ദെയ്യോബന്ദിൽ നിന്ന് വന്ന ആരെങ്കിലും താലിബാന് വേണ്ടി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവർ മനുഷ്യന്മാരെ കൊല്ലുന്ന പണിയാണ് അവിടെ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതൊരിക്കലും ഇസ്ലാമുമായിട്ട് റിലേഷൻ ഇല്ല. അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞത് അത് ISI പാകിസ്ഥാൻ ചാര സംഘടന ട്രെയിൻ ചെയ്ത് വിട്ട അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബ്രെയിൻ വാഷ് ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ട ഒരു സംഘമാണ് ഈ പറഞ്ഞ താലിബാൻ എന്നും അവർ ദൈവബന്ധമായി കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതൊക്കെ ശരിയല്ല എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലാണ് അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞത്.
ഡോക്ടർ വസി.
Okay, brother, let me ask you one question, okay? When the people all around the world, when they hear about Taliban, the first thing which comes to their mind is the controversy related to the, statue demolishing, a Buddha idol, it happens, took place years back. Let me ask you one thing. I have heard two reports related to this one. It was made by or done by US. This is the first report. And the second one is it was made by Taliban. Actually, what is your opinion about it?
My opinion about Buddha, destroying the Buddha statue, the Pakistan destroyed that because they want to show to the India that Afghanistan is in our hand, and Buddha statue was our like some sort of historic things. The statue was valuable. They were like every country have a museum. They have their own stuff in the museum. So Buddha statue was very valuable thing to Afghan, and they wanted to get angry the Indian government or Indian people. So they bombed. They broke on that statue, and they wanted to take like some sort of revenge from India. And obviously that time the government was in hand of Pakistan, so none of the Afghan are happy that they destroyed that Buddha statue. But there was something valuable from history there, and 5,000 history statue there. So that's what is my opinion about the Buddha.
Thank you, thank you. It's clear.
ഈ റീസെന്റ് ഈ കുറച്ച് ആളുകളെ കൊന്നില്ലേ ഈ അടുത്ത ദിവസങ്ങളിൽ, അതിനെപ്പറ്റി എന്താ സാഹിലിന്റെ അഭിപ്രായം എന്നൊന്ന് ചോദിച്ചോ?
ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കണം.
ആ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തോ, ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ ചോദിച്ച
ഓക്കെ.
കാര്യം.
ഈ വീഡിയോ കണ്ടതാണോ റീസെന്റ്
ആ വീഡിയോ കുറച്ച് ആളുകളെ കൊല്ലുന്നത് അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ, അതെന്താണ്?
Hey Sahel, we would like to ask. Recently, we saw some videos of some killings by Taliban. So, what is the truth? What is your opinion on it?
Yes, Talib is a terrorist. Talib is have nothing else to do than the killing. Taliban could have killed many more if the president of the government resisted with them, because the US supported them, and then that's what I thought they do. So there could be a truth there. They could have killed many Afghan soldiers. They've been killed by the Taliban because the Afghan soldiers didn't want to fight. They didn't want to destroy the city. They put their gun down and they were going home, and in the way they got killed. So yes, there could be truth there.
One of our brother, Mr. Pankaj, is here. So if he is having some questions, he will raise it. പങ്കജ് ചേട്ടാ മലയാളത്തിൽ ചോദിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നല്ലതായിരിക്കും, എല്ലാവർക്കും മനസ്സിലാവും. അപ്പൊ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ചോദിക്കായിരുന്നു.
അല്ല, ഞാന് ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ വന്നതല്ലോ.
അതായത് ഇതെന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാലേ, കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം എമുക്കളുടെ റൂമിൽ വന്ന സാഹിൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആളാണ് ഇത്. അദ്ദേഹം അവിടുത്തെ അവസ്ഥ, സാഹിൽ, ഐ എം ഡിസ്ക്രൈബിംഗ് ദ തിങ്, ഹി ജസ്റ്റ് കെയിം ഓവർ ഹിയർ. അപ്പൊ അവിടെ he's from Afghan. He's an Afghan citizen. So we can do the interaction with him. We can ask questions and all. നമ്മൾ ചോദിച്ചാൽ പുള്ളി അതിന് മറുപടി പറയും. അപ്പൊ പങ്കജേട്ടൻ മലയാളത്തിൽ ചോദിക്കുവാണെങ്കിൽ എല്ലാവർക്കും മനസ്സിലാവും. അപ്പൊ അത് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ചോദിക്കാം.
ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ആദ്യം അദ്ദേഹത്തോട് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ചോദിച്ചിട്ട് പിന്നെ മലയാളം ചോദിച്ചാലും മതിയല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
മതി. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ചോദിച്ചോ, കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ഇത് മറുപടി നമ്മൾ ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്താൽ തീരും.
ഓക്കെ. നൈസ് ടു സീ യു Sahel here. You are an Afghan citizen, right?
Yes, I am from Afghanistan.
So, which is your supporting political faction or group there?
Sorry, I don't understand what you say.
Which is your faction or group in Afghanistan? You may be having a political affiliation to something, right?
Again, if you can ask in Hindi, because I don't understand what you say.
आपका रियासत में आपने वो कौन सा, आपका पार्टी कौन सा है?
Brother, we were not in a government, and I was not supporting. I mean, obviously, I was supporting this current government in Afghanistan. The president, if you have a research about Dr. Ashraf Ghani, he was very in love with the country, and he built the country. So we were not in a government. My family was not in any party, and I support Afghanistan, and that's the truth. So I don't support any political party in there. I was just a normal Afghan citizen that living in Afghanistan and loving his country. That's it.
Okay, continue his speech. Then after some time, I can ask the questions.
Okay,
പങ്കജ്
okay.
സാറേ, അതിനകത്ത് എന്താ സംഭവിച്ചാല് ഈ സഹേല് യഥാർത്ഥത്തില് താലിബാൻ വിരുദ്ധനാണ്. ഈസ് ആൻ അഗൻസ്റ്റ് താലിബാൻ. പക്ഷെ നമ്മളെ ഈ എക്സ് മുസ്ലിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞ ആളുകള് ഇദ്ദേഹത്തെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ട് വേറെ ചില കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ പറയാൻ വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിച്ചിരുന്നു. ആ സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ ഈ
മുഹമ്മദേ നമ്മള്
സംസാരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാം,
അപ്പോ
അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് മനസ്സിലാവണം.
എന്താ വെച്ചാല് അദ്ദേഹം ഒരു മുസ്ലിമാണ്, പക്ഷെ അതേപോലെ തന്നെ അദ്ദേഹം ആന്റി താലിബാൻ ആണ്. അപ്പോ അദ്ദേഹം അത് ഈ താലിബാനിസം ഇസ്ലാമിയാണ് എന്നുള്ള തരത്തിൽ സാഹിലിനെ കൊണ്ട് പറയിപ്പിക്കാൻ ഈ എക്സ് മുസ്ലിങ്ങളായിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകൾ ആ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ ശ്രമം നടത്തിയിരുന്നു. അതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് സംസാരിക്കണം എന്നുള്ളതാണ് തോന്നുന്നത്. ഇൻഷാ അള്ളാ.
Sahel,
പങ്കജ് സാർ
Muhammad just
മനസ്സിലായി
said
തോന്നുന്നു.
that. Sahel, can you follow Muhammad? Muhammad just said that you are a Muslim and you are anti-Taliban. Okay.
Sorry.
Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you now.
He was just clarifying that to Pankaj that you are a Muslim and you are anti-Taliban, right? You are a normal Afghan
Uh,
citizen.
I am, Alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim, and I am against any terrorist that coming to my country. Not only Taliban, any terrorist that coming to my country, going to your country, going anywhere in the world, and terrorizing people. Yes, I am against them. And Taliban is one of the terrorist group in the world. So yes,
What
I'm.
what is your opinion about? Can you just clarify your opinion about America and American imperialism?
America is the biggest terrorist in the world. They killed 3 million of Afghan. They killed 4 million Iraqis. They killed Syrians and Libyans and all that. American is the biggest terrorist in the world. This is my opinion about America.
Sahil, can I ask you something? Uh, act- Hello.
Yeah, please, please. I don't know what happened. So I don't
Okay.
know. It's keep
Okay,
happening.
some days before, first of all, I would like to say one thing. Almost 100% and near 99% of Muslims in India are against Talibanism. Okay, and all extremist groups as named with the Islamic names. Okay, so but in Kerala, especially some persons are come out with from the Islam. They are namely with ex-Muslim. They are talk to with you and they are interpret your dialogues that you are saying or Islam is a Taliban, like something wrong interpretation they are talking to their groups. That's why I'm clarifying you. I think all Muslims in Afghanistan also they are against Taliban. I think you are believing Islam is not Taliban, is it? Okay.
Yes, yes, brother. The other day, if they did wrong translation of my words, so the people in India have education. They definitely will find the truth. They will see what I said and what they translate. So that's against themselves. And yes, Taliban have nothing. Yeah, Taliban is Muslim, but they don't know Islam. They're self-educated, brainwashed lunatic. So yes, Taliban and any extremist group anywhere in the world, they're wrong. Whoever is terrorizing the general public, r- regardless what religion is this them, so they are a terrorist. And I am Alhamdulillah Muslim, and 99.97%, only 3%, not 3%, it's 0.3%. We have a different religion in Afghanistan, and that's like our Sikh, and we have some like Hindu. So and also they mostly immigrated to India or any part of the world, and they are very peaceful people. And so Islam have nothing to do with Taliban, but Taliban is Muslim. Not they don't know their religion. They are self-educated. Like if you can make your idea in your head and think that is Islam, that's what they are doing now.
Sahil,
Sahil King
can you
once,
say
Sahil,
ഒരു
one
minute,
just a
Muhammad
minute,
Saib, ഒരു
just
minute, ഒരു minute, Muhammad Saib. Sahil, can you just clarify who is behind actually who is educating these people, these lunatics?
Pakistani ISI.
Has Taliban has majority people support, or they are by the ammunition power only, arms and ammunition power only, they are in power?
No, 95% people in Afghanistan hate Taliban. They're only there because the West bring them there, and Pakistan is supporting them. So 95% people in Afghanistan, they hate them. They don't like them.
Sir, what is the opinion of the Muslim scholars in Afghanistan about Taliban, especially Muslim scholars, Islamic scholars?
I answered this question earlier. You wasn't there.
പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു മുഹമ്മദ് വാസ് അബ്സെന്റ് വൈൽ യു ആർ ആൻസറിംഗ് ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അത് കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു മുഹമ്മദ് സാഹിബ്.
Yeah, Islamic scholar in Afghanistan before Taliban came to the uh, power, they were pretty open and clear. They said that war in Afghanistan is illegal. Taliban is not representing Islam, and Taliban should not fight the Afghan government. Then the Pakistan and US and all this West government, they gone against our government, and they bring this terrorist group to power. That's it.
Which party has majority support there, and why can't they come to the power?
Uh, you know, Afghanistan is a third world country, and West have very much power on Afghanistan. And our some corrupt leader, they've been bribed. They got money from the US, and they manipulated people. Like the only the political people can decide who to win and who to lose. So yes, the Afghan government been in the war from last 60 years. They are tired of war. They are tired of being killed, and every Afghan have a one or two people killed in their house. So that's why they can't rise, and they cannot speak, because if they scared, if they speak, somebody will come and kill them. So that's the thing. The truth is that they've been tired of war. From last 60 years we have a war in our country.
Yes, Sahel, one question. So, US government was helping the current government, right? Then what happened that they turned it around and started helping the Taliban? What was the reason behind?
Because this new government in United States is in favor of Pakistan, and the Afghan government was acting independently. They say we don't need anyone help, don't interfere in our policies. We can take control of our water, we can take control of our country, and we can build our country. So the West did not like independent government. If they can, they will like destroy every country in the world, and they will put their puppet on the power. So that's what the West want. They don't like independent people. They don't like clever people to build the countries. Especially a Muslim country, they don't want to be rebuilt. They don't want to grow. And Afghanistan is a Muslim country.
ഒന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്തോടെ.
ശ്രീചേട്ടൻ തന്നെ
Okay.
ഒന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം.
Okay. അപ്പോൾ അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാനിലെ ഗവൺമെന്റ് അതായത് സ്വതന്ത്രമായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയപ്പോഴാണ് അമേരിക്ക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അമേരിക്കയിലെ സഖ്യകക്ഷികൾ ഇവർക്കെതിരെയായത്. അവർക്ക് അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാൻ ഒരു ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് കൺട്രി അല്ലെ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആയിട്ട് അവരെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാതെ ജീവിക്കുന്നത് ഇഷ്ടമല്ലായിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനെ അവരുടെ ചൊൽപ്പടിക്ക് നിൽക്കാത്തത് കൊണ്ടാണ് അമേരിക്ക അവരെ കൈവിട്ടത് എന്നാണ് ഇദ്ദേഹം പറയുന്നത്. എന്തെങ്കിലും മിസ്സായോ?
അതായത് ഈ താലിബാൻ അവരോധിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത് ഒരർത്ഥത്തിൽ അമേരിക്കയാണ്. അത് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് പാകിസ്ഥാന്റെ ഫേവറോട് കൂടിയിട്ടാണെന്നുള്ളതാണ് അദ്ദേഹം.
ഓക്കെ മുഹമ്മദ് ഭായ്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇസ് ഷനീബ്.
Okay, Sahel. Hope you know Wise News channel, right? From USA. Wise News.
Wise News. I don't actually know. I don't know.
പുള്ളി ഒരു
I can
സാധാരണ
search in
അഫ്ഗാനിയല്ല.
Google.
അയാൾക്ക് പറ്റുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ചോദിക്കുക. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് അറിവുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യത്തിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് ചോദിക്കാം പ്ലീസ്. അദ്ദേഹം ഒരു സാധാ
See, Sahel, it's in the YouTube, and the report, there was an interview with the Taliban representative. He's a militant, and the journalist was asking why you are killing your own people, because you are killing your Muslim brothers, and what's your justification and why you are doing this? So the Taliban representative, the militant, replied that we don't have any problem with them until unless they establish the rule of Islam, means Sharia. So if the Ghani government or the Afghan government, if they are willing to establish the Islamic Sharia in Afghanistan, we won't fight with them. This is what his reply. So I would like to know your comment about this.
Brother, I would like to see a book of Sharia law. Is there an existed Sharia law book? Uh, and I will tell you to download the app in a Play Store. I don't know if there is English translated. Afghan Constitution, Afghan law. Afghan law is 100% Islamic law. It's clearly said all Afghans have to obey the law unless it's going against Islam. So I would like to see a book of Sharia law that anyone in this group, there are 143 people in this group. Can you ask any of them they have read the Sharia law book? There is no existed, brother. So there is no book of Sharia law. It's all their mindset. They think that the Sharia law is something that bring back to the dark age. No, our constitution is fully Islamic, and if you can download it from a Play Store, is there is an app, Afghan Constitution, and you can see it. All Afghan law is fully Islamic law, and they clearly says you have to follow the law until it's going against Islam, and this is the whole Islamic way to live your life, and this is very Sharia thing. I think if you think about it.
ശ്രീചേട്ടാ ഒന്ന് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം.
Let
ഷെനിബായ്
me. So you are saying the Taliban.
ഷെനിബായ് ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു പോരല്ലേ, ഈ ആളുകൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവണ്ടേ?
ഞാൻ
ശ്രീചേട്ടാ
ചോദിച്ചത് പിന്നെ ഞാൻ വോയിസ് ന്യൂസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു അമേരിക്കൻ ചാനലില്
ഷെനീബക്ക് അതിനുള്ള ഒരു സംവിധാനം അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഇല്ല. അദ്ദേഹം ഒരു സാധാരണ അഫ്ഗാനിയാണ്.
അല്ല, ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചത് എനിക്ക് ആൻസർ കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. അതായത് താലിബാൻ പോരാളികളായിട്ട് താലിബാൻ പ്രതിനിധി അന്ന് ആ ചാനലിന്റെ ജേർണലിസ്റ്റിനോട് ആ ഒരു പത്രപ്രവർത്തകയോട് പറഞ്ഞത്, അതായത് അവർ ചോദിച്ചത് നിങ്ങൾ എന്തിനാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ സഹോദരന്മാരെ കൊല്ലുന്നത്? കാരണം താലിബാൻ ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് അവിടുത്തെ അവരുടെ ഓൺ പൗരന്മാരോടാണ്, അവരെ തന്നെ സഹോദരന്മാരോടാണ്. അപ്പം എന്തിനാണ് നിങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്ന് അവർ ചോദിച്ചപ്പം അതിന് ആ താലിബാൻ പ്രതിനിധി മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞത്, ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അവരോട് യാതൊരു പ്രശ്നവുമില്ല, അവർ അഫ്ഗാനിസ്ഥാനിൽ ഇസ്ലാമിക് ശരിയ ലോ ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ അവരുമായിട്ട് ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയില്ല, ഞങ്ങളും അവരും ഒന്നായിരിക്കും എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. അതാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തോട് ചോദിച്ചത്. അതിന് അദ്ദേഹം മറുപടി പറഞ്ഞത്, പിന്നെ അവരും, അതായത് ഈ പിന്നെ അഫ്ഗാൻ സർക്കാരും ഇസ്ലാമിക് ശരിയ ലോ തന്നെയാണ് അവിടെ നടപ്പാക്കുന്നത്, അതല്ലാതെ മറ്റൊന്നല്ല എന്നാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. എനിക്കൊരു ഉപചോദ്യം ഉണ്ട്, ഒന്ന് ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചോട്ടെ?
അല്ല, അതിന്റെ കൂടെ ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് ഷെനി, അതിന്റെ കൂടെ ആള് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടിയുണ്ട്. ഇവരുണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഈ ശരിയ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത് ചില
പുള്ളി ഒരു ആ മറ്റേ അഫ്ഗാൻ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ പ്ലേ സ്റ്റോറിലുണ്ട് എന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു. അത് നമ്മൾ എടുത്തു നോക്കുക. അതിനകത്ത് തന്നെ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് എഴുതി വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, ശരിയത്ത് നിയമത്തിനെതിരെ
അല്ല, അതിന്റെ കൂടെ ഈ താലിബാൻമാർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അവര് ഡാർക്ക് ഏജിലുള്ള അവരെ മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റുള്ള പല സാധനങ്ങളും ശരിയത്താണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്
ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അവിടെ വർഷങ്ങളായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് 1912 അത്ര പഴക്കമുള്ള ആദ്യമായിട്ട് കോളനി വാഴ്ചയിൽ നിന്ന് ഐ ഹോപ്പ് ദാറ്റ് യുവർ കൺട്രി വാസ് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ബിഫോർ us, no? Sahel brother, which is the year of independence?
You go back to 1960s. You go back to 1960s, search Afghanistan before 1960, and you will clearly see Afghanistan was a independent state. Brother Rizwan, there is one brother in this audience. He wants to ask a question, so can you please bring him up? His name is Shahir Ambadan.
ഷഹീർ അമ്പാടൻ. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, ആ ഷഹീർ ഖാൻ ഒന്ന് കേട്ടിക്ക്. ഷഹീർ അമ്പാടൻ, ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ എക്സ് മുസ്ലിം. ലെറ്റ് ഹിം ആസ്ക്.
Okay,
മിസ്റ്റർ
Sahel, I have
ഷനി ഭായ്, ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് ഒന്ന് വെയിറ്റ്
Please
ചെയ്യൂ
give him
പ്ലീസ്
time.
പ്ലീസ്.
Please give
പുള്ളിക്ക്
him time. Please give him time. Let him ask.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, ലെറ്റ് ഹിം കം. വെർ ഇസ് ഷഹീർ? ഷഹീർ ഭായ് ഒന്ന് കൈ പൊക്കിക്കോ. അമ്പാടൻ.
വിസ്വാൻജി, ആ കൊമേഡിയന്റെയും ഡാനിയൽ
അല്ല
സിദ്ദീഖിന്റെയും
ചോദിക്കാൻ, അത്
കൊലപാതകം
ചോദിച്ചു,
ഒന്ന്
റഹ്മത്തുള്ള
ചോദിക്കണം.
ചോദിച്ചു, പുള്ളി അത് പറയുകയും ചെയ്തു. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്, പുള്ളി അത് പറയുകയും ചെയ്തിരുന്നു, നേരത്തെ ചോദിച്ചിരുന്നു, പുള്ളി പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. ഈ ഷഹീർ അമ്പാടനെ ഒന്ന് വിളിക്കൂ പ്ലീസ്.
Yeah, I have called them.
വന്നോ?
Yes,
Yeah,
already sent
ഷഹീർക്ക
speakers.
ചോദിച്ചോ? നിങ്ങൾ
yeah.
മെസ്സേജ്
Hi,
അയച്ചാരാന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു പുള്ളി ചോദിക്കാൻ ഇത് തന്നു.
hi, Sahel. Assalamualaikum. Unfortunately, I was introduced wrong by this one. I don't know how did he introduce me so idiotic that I'm an ex-Muslim. Maybe he's
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
wrong.
You are my brother. We are humans, so don't worry about it. And I'm sure you're a good human being, and you have a good intention.
Yeah. Should I repeat the question or I
Please,
already typed
please,
it?
please repeat your question because I could not read it there on my phone. So please repeat what the one you want to ask.
Yeah, what I was asking is, US entered Afghanistan for want of Osama bin Laden. So US wanted to capture Osama, and they continued for about 20 years, and they promised that they will remove Taliban and they will establish a stable government in Afghanistan. Do you think Americans' claim was real, or did Afghan people trust them?
Brother Shahir, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, please.
America was in Afghanistan not to make any country greater. I don't know if you heard Joe Biden's speech the other day. We were not there to make the nation. They were here to fight Al Qaeda, which they were in the wrong place. Al Qaeda was in Pakistan. Osama bin Laden was killed in Pakistan. And none of the bombing of 9/11, there were no Afghan involved there. They were there for 20 years. They tested their weapons. Uh, they 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 bring the whole world there to war in Afghanistan. They sold them guns and everything. And they were not nothing. Nobody was. US was not there to make us a government. They were there for their own profit. They stole on our titanium, ultanium, and different resources that we have in Afghanistan from last 20 years. Right now, this new government, USA government, they think that they have taken everything and now they don't need, so they hand us back to the tourists and the Pakistan. They don't want to stabilize Asia because if Asia is getting stabilized, almost everybody in this group will they will love to go to US. Why? Because the US is a stable country. If India get like a USA, then they have no interest in us. Then the West will not get profit from us. We will not go to their country. So that's why they don't want a stable Asia. If they can, they will destabilize India as well. They will not like them a stabilized country. So I hope I cleared your mind and a question.
Yeah, I had the second part of my question. You said 95% people of Afghanistan are against Taliban, and they consider Taliban are terrorists. But how do you think Taliban could resist, or the people of Afghanistan could not stop Taliban from growing up or catching up the power within very soon after the Americans leaving the country?
Brother Shahir, American hasn't left yet. There are 7,000 soldiers still in Afghanistan. Uh, Afghan army resist in the first place when the terrorists start attacking. Then the US start bombing the hospitals, the civilians, so they force the Afghan government not to fight with them. They was with this Taliban. They were supporting that Taliban, so the US want the Taliban to come to the power back. So that's why Afghan people could not resist, because we are tired of a war, brother. We are suffering this war from last 60 years. 1960. After that, then the Russian came, then the Civil War, then the American came from last 20 years. They killing everybody. They bombing hospitals. They bombed the wedding ceremony, killed 365 people in one place. So that's why the Afghan people are tired of war. They want peace, and they looking for peace in the wrong place. I'm sorry, but they want peace. That this was the reason that Afghan could not resist.
But if it is going to continue this way, if you really think Taliban is terrorist uh, in their power, you are going to suffer again, right?
Right now, it's very early to speak. From their past, Afghan was suffering there, and so let's see what they're gonna do next. And looking at the other word that they said, he will not help Afghanistan. They will not recognize the country. So obviously, we will suffer, and there is nothing that we can do about it. The whole world went against us, and they hand us over back to the Pakistani eyesight. So what we can do about it, brother? Afghan population is only 36 million, and every person in their house, they either have one disabled from the war, or either 2 3 people died in the war. So yes, we will suffer, and I don't know what will happen in the future, and Allah knows the best. He's the planner of a planning, so he might have a best plan for us, and he might not. I mean, Allah knows the best. We will suffer, or either we would get up back and we will resist. So yeah, the war is not in a favor of us, because from last 20 years you can see my profile picture from where to where we went. So we don't want to go back to that 1996. That's why we didn't want to fight.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your kind response. And as a part of an Indian, we Indians would certainly pray for a peaceful life of all Afghanis in your place.
Jazakallah khair, brother. I only have 5 minutes, and I'll have to go because I have to go to work, and I have a family. So I hope I clear the misconceptions about the other day. What were they trying to do? So I don't know what they translated. I haven't learned. I don't know. This is what language? Tamil language or what
Malayalam.
language? Malayalam.
See, there is also some Dravidian languages over there, no?
Yeah, I really like the West Indian movies. I really watch them, and but in Hindi translation. So you guys are amazing. The Indian people as a whole, they helped us before. They always they helped us. So I really appreciate Indian people. They are nice, and Alhamdulillah, there are more Muslim in India than Pakistan, than anywhere in the world. The biggest community, Muslim communities in India. So I'm very proud of my brothers in India, and India as a whole. They are nice people, and I really appreciate them. Thank you.
Sahel, my one last important question. What about the
Okay.
interest in Islamic Republic of Iran in Afghanistan?
All our neighbor, Iran, and some ex-Russian countries, that Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, they all have not good intention for Afghanistan. Iran clearly support this Taliban group, and they weaponize them. They send them. you can see them. Pakistan and Iran is celebrating right now that they destabilize countries, because some part of our country, the water was running to Iran for free from last 35 years, and recently we made a water dam there. We kept our water back, so Iran was very angry to Afghan government. And Pakistan also, we took control of our water, our resources, and we told them that if we want to make a business, we can make it with India, we can make it with other part of the world. We don't want your business, because you're sending us a terrorist. So that's why they all, most of our neighbors are not in our favor. I'm sorry.
Okay, Sahil,
There is
can you join us
democracy.
some other day?
If there is democracy and if there is an election, who will win? What is your expectation?
Right now, I don't know. And Western democracy does not work in Asia. Uh, uh, I don't know what is your prescriptions of democracy. Democracy is not something that they don't have it themselves. The United States doesn't have a democracy, UK doesn't have a democracy, the Asian country doesn't have a democracy. They're all capitalism. Brother, we're all educated, we can see what's going on in their country. So I don't know, something that they could not practice it on their country, why would they bring it to us? So if there is an election, and I don't know who will stood up for election, because right now the country is in a state of war, a state of emergency. There is nobody that we can trust and we can follow them.
Okay, thank you very much.
വളരെ വലിയ അരക്ഷിതാവസ്ഥയാണെന്നാണ് സഹിൽ പറയുന്നത്. So Sahil, can you join us some other day?
Uh, yes, why not? I mean, right
It is
now,
very early to discuss about the situation right there. So
yes, it's very early. Let's give us 10-15 days and let's see what's gonna do, what's gonna happen, who is gonna get the country control, and let's see. Hopefully we will speak again and again, and I really appreciate you guys' time.
So
And
can you just, for the last, as a last word, can you just say what can we do for you?
the only thing I want you from you guys, please pray for us and all these Afghans there in India. Regardless what religion are they, if they're Sikh, they're very peace-loving people. If they're Hindu, they're very peace-loving people. If they're Muslim, trust me, all Afghan you meet there, they're not there to take your country, either to take your home. They're only there because they suffer in Afghanistan and they came there to have a safe house. Please be easy with them, and if you can help them, help them. And please pray for us so we can get something better, and Allah will have mercy on us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you Sahil. ഞാൻ റൂം ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്തോട്ടെ. വേറെ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയാനുണ്ടോ? സഹൽ സംസാരിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ജോലിക്ക് പോകാനുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ കുറെ നേരമായി സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട്.
Thank you, Sahel. We'll pray for you, definitely. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ എൻഡ് ചെയ്തോട്ടെ.
Okay, എൻ്റെ ചെയ്തോളി.
ഓക്കെ, അസ്സലാമു അലൈക്കും.
വലൈക്കും അസ്സലാം വറഹ്മത്തുള്ളാഹി.